The reason you can't find happiness is because you keep looking for it like it's a lost pencil. Let me explain. This pencil right here is tangible. If you lose this, you can just go look for it wherever it may be and find it. But happiness, on the other hand, it's not stuck between your couch cushions or at the bottom of your backpack. You can't go and find happiness the same way. And of course, this is based on whatever happiness means to you, because everybody has their own definition of it. However, it's closer to you than you think. But to truly find it, you have to change your perspective just a little bit, or your view. Realistically, there's only two ways that you can search for happiness. You could either search externally, or you can search internally. The problem with searching for happiness externally is that no matter what you buy or what you do or where you go, chasing these external goods is only going to lead to temporary fulfillment. When you search internally, however, it leads to genuine bliss and contentment. And those of you who have been down that route know exactly what I mean. You see, unlike a lost pencil, happiness has always been with you your entire life, even when you were a baby. Actually, especially when you were a baby. This is why babies are so much happier than adults. Have you ever seen a depressed baby? No. Babies, when they're born, are much closer to God. This is why they're so happy already. So your search starts and ends right here with you. So if happiness has been with you your entire life, why don't you feel it more often or all the time? Simply because you're being blinded by something or hindered by something. And I use the word blinded metaphorically here. I'm not talking about physical blindness. If I was, then all blind people would be sad all the time, which is not true by any means. If you ever had a chance to sit down and talk to someone who's lost their sight, like actually really sit down and talk with them, they are some of the most happiest and most grateful people on the planet. More than a lot of us who actually have our sight. Yet, why do the blind live in enlightenment and we live in darkness? So the real question now becomes, how can you go from darkness to enlightenment? Well, first, it's obvious you got to figure out what's causing that darkness, right? What is hindering your ability to feel the happiness that's always been inside you? So to make the transition from dark to light, I want to break it up into two different categories. Things you can't control and things you can control. And I encourage you to write these down on a piece of paper. Let's take a look at first some of the things that you can't control. You can't control other people's views. You can't control what society does. You can't control the weather or the day or the economy or when something doesn't go your way. These are things that are out of your control. And there's really only one way or one solution to solve this. When something's happening that's out of your control, the only sane solution to it is to live in acceptance. I actually got it tattooed on my hand right over here. You can see it right there. Acceptance. When I see it every day, it's just another reminder that whatever happens, whether it's in your control or out of your control, just live in acceptance. And honestly, it's made things so much more easier to deal with. Things have just kind of fallen into place rather than me worrying so much. So whatever happens, just accept it for what it is. Whatever people do, just let them be. You have good enough judgment skills at this point to know what is right and wrong and how you can control it. If it feels wrong, just remove yourself from the situation. And if you really can't remove yourself, just focus on the things that you can control, which we're going to talk about in just a second. Or let's just say if the weather or the day or the economy or something didn't go your way, beating yourself up is not going to help. That just doesn't make any sense. Imagine being mad at yourself because it's raining outside. And these are, of course, just some examples. Now let's talk about the things that we can control. You can control your actions, how you treat others, how you treat yourself, the things that you eat, how much exercise you get, your attitude towards life, and also your habits. Now, I know some may say that sometimes you can't really control your habits if you're addicted to something. But that's a completely different topic for another time, so we'll come back to that. Anyways, these are the things that are in your control because you can practice them and get better. But ultimately what you're doing, you're turning the attention towards you. You're focusing on yourself. You're studying and investing in yourself. And there's no bigger return on investment than the investment into yourself. If you do that, the happiness that's always been inside you will come to the surface more often and you'll start to enjoy life. Everything will become so much more enjoyable. One last thing I want to say before we end this video. This week, what I want you to do is set aside 1 hour a day to study you. Literally on your computer, phone, however you want to do it, pen and paper. Pencil and paper is what I prefer because it's just more genuine and slows down your thinking. But I want you guys to write down things about yourself. Study the bad things that you do, why you do them, where you do them, what time of the day, whatever. And then study the good things that you do as well. So that way you can flush out all the bad stuff and start adding more good stuff. Nobody in the world can do this for you. Your future is in your hands and it starts with you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. give it a thumbs up, and also subscribe to our channel so that way when we release new videos, you guys get notified, of course. And don't forget to hit that notification bell. If you guys need anyone to talk to, feel free to reach out via Instagram. I would be happy to help to the best of my abilities. And if I can't, I'll provide you guys with some resources, of course. I hope you guys have a wonderful week. Keep your head up, stay positive, and of course, most importantly, be your own you. Take care. You see, unlike a lost pencil, happiness has always been with you.